What's up, Citizen Zone? Nice to see you again. I'm Manuel, and today we're talking about election business. For all intents and purposes, since YouTube says that it's taking down any content that isn't in line with the current understanding for our here and now presidential elections. Are they just signaling like it's 1984? There's no more choice. They're going to win regardless because they set it up that way. I don't know. But what I do know is that my boy Glenn was saying some stuff the other day about, well, guys, the time is now. If you haven't gotten in, you should be in already. Well, he said you should be in already by last week, but I'm pretty sure the time is now. For a lot of people in firearms and other different stuff like that, I know a lot of you guys out there are probably fans. Some of you are not. I've always been pretty clear that I support the Second Amendment and 2A legislation as it stands, although I want it to get, kind of knocked back to being a little bit more constitutional because I believe that everybody has the right to bear arms, right? Because that's how we protect ourselves from tyranny, oppression, and the whole nine yards, communists running at you in the streets. What? Criminals in the whole like. So I myself, got into utilizing firearms and I picked up, a 357 Magnum. I got myself a shotgun and I even picked up an AR-15 just to be safe because you never know what's going to be happening just around the corner. And honestly, it's like not one of those situations that I take lightly because generally I've always had it in the back of my mind, like, yeah, if I've ever needed a firearm, like I can always go get one. And it's been very simple for me living in Arizona, going into a store and picking one up. Like I remember when I was younger, I think the first firearm I picked up, I went and bought it at a freaking shop. And that was it. Picked it up at the shop, and I was able to walk out with it that day. Nowadays, it's like I gotta go in, buy it, and then I gotta come back a little bit later, the day later, and pick it up because they gotta run the numbers and stuff, or they gotta call in your background check to the government, and it's like a fee or whatever you have to pay. But essentially, like, that's where I feel like we're at. Joe Biden is supposed to be the next president of the United States, whether we like it or not. And some of the stuff that he's starting to come out of the gate with is rather alarming. And I think gun control is the big alarming thing that is to be said right now because Joe Biden has always been anti-criminal. He wrote the crime bill for crying out loud is what he tells everybody, and he wanted to make sure he was locking up minorities, criminals, the whole nine yards. All the while he was doing all his criminal bullshit with his son, although that's supposedly alleged. Now that they're talking about it in the news, now the big thing here is that they're saying that gun controls is going to be a reality for you, me, and everybody else, and it's going to be done so with new executive orders. We know that Obama was trying to do this stuff, but he didn't have to deal with Christchurch and the like that Mr. Trump had to deal with. And President Trump had done a pretty great job at keeping the country on a very even keel because we can't just take these singular events from crazy people and start attributing them to actually deforming and destructing the rights of the American people. And now apparently there's supposed to be big executive actions coming from Biden with respect to firearms. Magazine capacities, the types of firearms that you can buy, hold, sell, trade, buy, the whole nine yards. They're really talking about changing everything about what's going on, but at the same time, this is going to cause like another run on the gun stores. But the thing is that this is like been an ongoing thing, back in 2016 when they were discussing the AR-15 ban. All of a sudden a bunch of people went out and bought a lot more guns, and then all of a sudden here we are right now. It's almost impossible to get the ammo that you want unless you buy it online and you get it shipped to your house. Where I live, it is gone everywhere. People are clearing out the shelves. And outside of that, the more that we look into this situation is that it's only going to expand. I've gone around to a lot of the places here locally. I remember how it was in Arizona before I left, it was very difficult to get even simple kinds of ammo. And I mean, when you can't go to the shop and get 9mm, you gotta be like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? I mean, literally, all I have is 12 gauge shotgun shells, and I have a super sweet Fit 357 Magnum, and I don't even think I have any bullets. I don't even have any bullets for it yet. Well, they're on their way, but because I had to order them offline. But like, this is the lifestyle that we're leading into now. But think about this 2 years from now. It's probably going to be pretty difficult to even buy firearms, or maybe they're just going to keep it locked down with the ammunition and stuff until they're, I guess, satisfied that there isn't going to be a freaking civil war. Because, like, that's what everybody has been pushing forward. Last night, Civil War was trending on Twitter. I don't know what the leftists are up to, but they wanted to make sure that it was out there. And it's basically like they're saying, if you guys overturn this election, we're going to cause a civil war. And it's not very different than what they were saying before. If you guys win this election, we're going to cause a civil war. So essentially, I just want you guys to be protected. Like, plus 2A against 2A, whatever your sign is, that's fine. But, like, I implore you, since you currently still possess the right and the ability, if you have some extra chicken scratch money, you should probably at least consider going and getting yourself some firearms. Because I don't know where this is going to go. And hey, it could all just blow over and everything could be fine and whatever. And, you know, what, 2 years from now, they start buying back people's guns and basically you got to turn them in and stuff. I mean, no matter what, there's going to be an avenue for you to go, but like you should be at least exercising your rights. I'm not telling you to walk around the streets, but you know, if you want to make sure that you can defend yourself, then that's what you're going to freaking do. And I know I didn't probably need to go all the way to an AR, but essentially it's like, well, what if I wait a year, you know? What if I wait? I might not even be able to get it. So I want to get it now. And that's the idea that I've been looking forward to. Because, like, if you think about it, it's been ingrained in for a long time that guns are bad, okay? We saw it. Red Ryder BB guns, you'll shoot your eye out. A Christmas Story plays every single year. It's like this latent programming that's going at you. Guns are bad, guns are bad, guns are bad. But think about it. I don't want to be living in a world 2 years from now where there's people that are literally taking over entire blocks of cities again and creating their own autonomous zones. And, you know, I don't want to live in that life. I don't want to get invaded by different people. So I think it's time to take a stand. And, you know, if this is what we're going to have to do, this is what we're going to have to do. But essentially, this is the future, and if this is the future and it's bleak as hell, you know, we gotta at least live through it, right? It's gonna be 4 years of abject tyranny, but at least we can understand that there's a way forward. So thank you so much for watching us today. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and please become a member if you would like. Either way, much love to you. Hope you have a nice day and be excellent to each other. Adios.